يا مرحبا يا شباب. Hello and welcome guys and girls to a brand new video. And as you can see on my screen, we stopped while parsing the instructions. And now with this time we are going to implement the actual logic for getting to count if the dial stops at the zero position or not. So let's get started. I hope my font is big enough. I increased it a bit. Otherwise, let me know if I have to increase it, decrease it. It's currently 14 something. Yeah, 14. Now let's write the function. We will call it count dial position. Count dial points 0 actually. Here we take an array as a parameter. Rotation. So square brackets, and yes, looks good. As I have said, dial position from the is at 50. We start from number 50. Count here we set this value will hold the actual times the dial is exactly at 0. We start with 0 value. Now we take yes rotation. I'm so sorry. This should be plural rotations. Here was rotations. And here, this is not rotation, rotator. Okay. Now we're iterating through our array and see if we have in the array values, actually these values which leads to 0. So the dial stops at 0. Okay. We need a temporary variable. Let's take 2-digit number. So I call it 2-digit num. And this gets the rotator, not directions, the steps. The steps, and here what we do is modulo all 100 position. And we will use this later on. Now we say if rotator direction is R, then we know we go up. We have an addition. So let us check here something. 2-digit number. 2-digit num plus dial position. If we would count them together, would it be bigger than 100? And bigger than last position, which is 99. So yeah, would it be 100 or more? If so, we say dial position and give it a new value. And we say not quite, not quite. I actually I could do this as well, but no. 2-digit number, and we say move 1 step. So because now we know it's more than 100, and we subtract 1 step, and so here we say dial position equals dial position minus last position. Yeah, so let's say if this is 100, what we do is we calculate them together, and then we say, okay, this is 100. Let's say this is 50. This is also 50. Let's say it's 100 bigger than 99. What happens is now, okay, we calculate them together, and after the calculation we do subtraction, so it's at 99. So then we know, okay, it's 99. Dial position, we have to set the dial position again at a valid position. There is no position 100, so we subtract it again and we say it's actually at it crossed the 100 the 99 mark, so it's at 0 again. So okay, I hope this makes sense. Then we say if not, if this is not bigger than 99, we just say dial position dial. We just add here the value, 2-digit num. Okay, okay, that's good. And if this is if this is now left, it goes down, we have to subtract. And basically it's more or less the same logic, but in reverse. So I would suggest I just copy paste it and adapt it. Okay, adapt. I have to 2-digit num. It's not quite the same. Yes, 0 position. Yeah, if it's smaller than 0 position, we have to adapt it. Then we have to say dial position minus 2-digit number plus move one step. It's quite the reverse. Yeah, otherwise, and also here. It's actually the exact logic, but reverse. When it's left. So, okay. Yeah, just imagine if you have now also again, um, let's go this through. Let's say dial position is again 50. It's at 50. This 2-digit number is 51. So it's minus 1. It's smaller than 0 position. So what we have to do is again, 0 position. So we do it. It's minus 1. And then we move it up one step. And so it's exactly at 0. And then 0 plus last position. Because it's actually minus 1, but we have no minus 1, so it goes up again to the last position, from the first position to the last position, which is 99. And otherwise we just can directly subtract it, and that's it. And besides that, besides all of that, if now the dial before the first iteration of the loop ends and the dial position stays at 0 position, our counter goes up once, And otherwise, yeah, otherwise, we are done. So it iterates through the whole values and sees if it stays there or not. And yes, that's basically it. That's the logic. It's the same logic actually, but in reverse. I mean, of course, here, if it goes up, then it's the reverse logic too, if it would go down. And we at the end, we just check, okay, if it's at the zero position or not. Yeah, let that sink in for a moment, and in the next video we'll write the unit test for it. See you in the next video. إلى اللقاء.